Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today we are going to talk about American politics, and we're going to talk about the Joe out, Kamala in era. And today we're going to talk about Unyoung women's relationship to Kamala, and are they genuinely excited about Kamala? Is Kamala's campaign a real attempt to win the presidency? Or is it what I say it is, a silent surrender? The Democrats realizing that after cocking the country up after 4 years, and then gaslighting the entire country that Joe Biden was president for a single day, or like let alone capable of and I think and that's where we landed at the end of the Joe Biden run. People were like, not only do I not believe you have any capability to be president for the next 4 years, I don't believe you were president for a single day of the last 4 years. Seems like you were just sitting there, with a shawl and receiving hot chocolate in a rocking chair, and somebody else was making every decision and signing every document. Right? Like I don't know what was running the country, but it certainly wasn't you, right? Maybe an AI, maybe a demon, maybe an alien. Certainly wasn't Joe Biden, right? Just like and that's astonishing, because people were like, is he going to be okay to be president for the next 4 years? And people were like, if you're watching what's happening right now, it's clear he hasn't been president for 4 years in the past, let alone going to be able to do. And so and so for 3 weeks, we all had to listen to him go, I'm running. You're not running. And we all knew it, right? And gaslight. And I think and I love politics. This is my football, right? Like, pass the ball, Hail Mary pass. Like, I love this stuff, good or bad. I'm super entertained, right? Like, this is my football, right? I don't waste time watching sports. I watch the most powerful plays in the world, right? And so, but it is astonishing, but I feel really bad for people who are like, oh, I hate politics. And I'm like, I get it. Like, you realize every day that gaslighting is absolutely constant, and the spin is now on a super powerful centrifuge so fast that people just get sick and lose it. It's bad. It's really bad. The gaslighting is outrageous, right? So what I want to talk about today is I want to talk about, are unyoung women actually excited about Kamala Harris? All right, so let's get into this. I had my first conversation with an unyoung woman who is excited, she is not excited about Kamala Harris. She's willing to vote for her. And that shocked me. I knew young women were genuinely excited. And I want to be clear. I've not met a single person, not anyone, who's excited to vote for Kamala Harris. They don't care about Kamala Harris. They care about what she is, her archetype, right? She is a woman who is in position to win the presidency. She has a chance. I think that chance is real. I think that chance is 1%. 1%, literally 1%. I think she's a placeholder that before she was named Veep, everybody knew she had no chance of winning because she's a complete placeholder, right? And you're like, placeholder, Scott? She's a real candidate. She hasn't done a single interview since she was announced as Veep like 2 weeks ago. Hasn't done a single interview. All she does is just read the script. And we're like, wait a second, you're young. You should be able to skibbly dap doop and just read it, take it right off your dome, right? Like, you're supposed to be the president. You should be able to have a conversation with some knucklehead from the New York Times, right? Like, that should not be a problem, right? Because when we get you in there, you're going to have conversations with, like, Putin. You're going to have to roll hard against him, right? You're going to have to keep your own with, like, world leaders. Can you do an interview with a New York Times reporter who's already handed you the questions, and you just might have to do some extemporaneous? The answer is no. Like, they are terrified of her getting out in front of anybody, right? Like, they don't want to see her scat, right? They don't want to see it come freestyle, right? Like, because they're like really worried about what she's going to say, right? They think there's going to be another coconut moment, right? Like, and that was a nice meme, but like, if you're actually a political wonk and you need to keep things under control, you're like, yeah, that was cute, and people love that on TikTok. But I'm trying to get people in like Nebraska to vote for her, for a San Francisco progressive, right? For a San Francisco liberal, not a California liberal, a San Francisco liberal. That's a different level. There's only one level above that. That's Portlandia. All right, that's a Portland liberal. Right, like that's the only thing. That's the only person in the world more liberal than a San Francisco liberal. So I did meet. So I want to. So what are we doing here? Why am I telling you about one unyoung woman who said she will vote? And I was shocked. I would never expected this unyoung woman to vote for Kamala Harris, but she said, yeah, she had a conversation with me. She said, yeah, I will vote for her. And I said, why? You've seen it. Like, you've seen how bad things have been the last 4 years. And she's like, I cannot vote for Trump. He's just an awful, inhuman monster, and I can't vote for him, right? So everyone I have met, so absolutely no one is excited about Kamala Harris. And you need to pay attention to this. Why is that important? Because I can tell you right now, people are genuinely excited about Donald Trump. People that do not give a rat's about politics, people do not give a rat's about the Republicans, genuinely love Trump. Why? Because they say he is a winner. He wins, right? And that is profound, man. They like a winner, right? And they are genuinely excited about Trump. I've not met a single person who is excited about Kamala Harris. But what they are excited about is they're excited about what she is, right? She is a woman in position to win the presidency. That has never happened before. There really hasn't. We've had it for a VP, but there's never been a single female candidate who ran for president. Not once, right? This is the first time this is happening. And women are saying, I'm excited to put a woman in. Not Kamala Harris. Ain't nobody excited about Kamala Harris, right? And we know that because for 4 years, she was vehemently ignored, right? Because she didn't matter, right? Like, she didn't do anything of significance. She didn't say anything of significance. Absolutely no one championed her, right? Like, it's just like at the macro level. That's what it is, right? But I have met my first, and why am I telling you this? Pattern recognition. This is pattern recognition. We have no ability to learn anything about this from the New York Times, from the Wall Street Journal, from the Atlanta, from CNN. None. There's, or even from Fox. There is so much. No one trusts those institutions anymore. But you and I can look at the evidence around us, right? And we can do pattern recognition. Now, Scott, what are you talking about? Pattern recognition. I've used this term many times on my channel. If you've been here, you know what I'm talking about. If you don't, just click in the link below and you will find my definition for pattern recognition. It's its own video, right? Because it's freighted. And that's another thing, right? When we talk on this channel, we use freight. We use freighted words, right? We use words that actually have very significant meaning, right? And so we use freighted words, right? So it's pattern recognition. And I have met and so what this really means is that there are women ready to vote for Kamala Harris, which means that maybe that 1% isn't 1%. Maybe it's 5%. And that's interesting. That is very interesting. In fact, I'm going to say it. I think after hearing one single unyoung woman willing to vote for Kamala Harris that I never would have thought would vote for Kamala Harris, I think she's got a 5% chance. Not a 1% chance, a 5% chance, in my humble opinion. Every single word you just heard is my humble opinion. Nothing more, nothing less. What's important is when I hear your humble opinion, when you get in the comments and help me figure this out through pattern recognition. Please consider subscribing and have a fetch millennium.